Play-by-play, play-by-play, play-by-play. I can't hear Unity in my ear because I don't have my earbuds in, so let me plug my earbuds in.
Two changes for both sides. Each side. Each or both? Grammatically?
Two changes for each side.
Two changes for each side. That's correct. That's the correct grammatical approach.
You talk good.
Much thanks.
So how are we handling crowd noise since we actually kind of have a crowd?
I don't have to hear that guy yell for Harvey every 7 minutes?
Harvey! It's pro hurricane.
We just use the crowd like the real life crowd now, right?
In theory. A reminder to turn off the crowd noise during the national anthem. Yeah. Oh. What do I do with my hands?
You're not supposed to use hands in soccer, Lincoln.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
Look what I caught. Sure.
Dude, fucking fuck, I hate this shit.
I appreciate whatever effort Apple is putting into shatterproof glass. All right, headset coming off. Plugging the phone back in. I guess I need to wipe off the phone.
Thank you. Thanks, I appreciate it.
Demasking. Again, demasking protocol.
So Brandon got fired.
From this NFL gig, I don't know about the baseball. The guy I know is supposed to tell you. And sure enough, the Hornets fired him. John.
Oh, look at this slate. Yeah.
Typed Jazz, not Nuggets.
Yeah.
And if you put any effort into caring about how that came about, there is no way you conclude he meant to do it. If you were to search his phone, I guarantee you would never find any use for that word. He did not claim it was autocorrect, so all the people would say it would only autocorrect if you use that word a lot. You're like, no, it's literally the two letters in such a low percentage chance that it would spell it's the most offensive word we have, but it happened.
Yeah.
But
it's T and R right next to each other, as are.
You can look at his previous tweets and tell he is what you would consider an ally.
Yes.
And I know he's a good person. And here's a guy who finally got that gig. And I shot him a text right after the first announcement was made that he was currently suspended. But I was hoping they would actually put a sincere look into it. But no, they were just gonna toss him. It's really unfortunate. Now you just hope somebody else gives him a chance. Yeah. But it's so easy to make somebody toxic. And that's different to me than Brenneman, who says the word in a sentence where it makes sense in that sentence.
But like he definitely is.
Set on. But I mean, you knew he was sick to his stomach knowing that this was the worst possible time for that mistake to have happened.
Get us a crowd shot.
There's no way any Twitter
fans up there with
bot.
old jerseys on.
And of course, a lot of decent people were giving him grief because they are trained to jump on that, and for the most part, they're on the right side of history, but they aren't smart enough to figure out his situation.
Just horrifically unfortunate.
Yeah. One, two, 1, 2.
Sorry to hear that for that guy. That's
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Hopefully he will get another chance.
But
there's no way anybody who ever spent any time working with him in that organization made the decision.
Yeah. Did any players come to his defense?
A lot in Minnesota. The WNBA coach and several others did. But you could tell it was not going to be given any consideration.
It's like when Max Bretos got suspended. Oh.
Definition of insanity. Yes.
Oh, are we on or no? Oh,
Just about.
Just do you remember Max Bretos got suspended for saying chink in the armor when on a Jeremy Lin
Instead of
segment?
kink. And that's just because people don't know the difference because they've heard it both ways.
But he still got suspended for like 2 or 3 weeks or whatever it was.
Thunder radio guy a couple years ago, or TV guy, said, "Are you out of your cotton picking mind?" Where we grew up with Foghorn Leghorn saying that. And, of course, Robstown High School's been in the news. It's just, you got to understand the context. All right, we won't talk anymore. We were on a little early the other night, so we won't talk too much until they tell us to go. Yep. Been told it's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over again, expecting a different result. But that's exactly what the Bold and FC Tulsa are hoping for tonight. One of them looking to secure a full 3 points after the draw this weekend, trying to create some separation. For Tulsa, it would mean perhaps moving above that playoff cutoff line. Right now, where San Antonio and Austin both sit. Lincoln Rose, Arch Bell with you, and Arch, a dramatic finish back on Saturday. Diego Restrepo, his only save required was at the death, the final whistle, preserving a 1-1 draw, the comeback goal from Beto Avila. Well, our men to watch tonight, a little deja vu all over again. Dario Suarez named Team of the Week for good reason, 3 goals his last 2 matches.
Yeah, same 2 protagonists, starting with Suarez, the right-footed Cuban who just launched a missile past Restrepo for the opener for Tulsa. Great goal for him, and he's just on a scorching hot streak, if you will, for FC Tulsa, and he'll be another one to watch tonight. Meanwhile, for Austin Bold, it's going to be Billy Forbes. Now, Billy didn't find the back of the net on Saturday night, but he created a slew of chances, and, he's still got the firepower in those boots to find the back of the net.
Both men find themselves in September among the top goal scorers in the USL Championship. Will one of them shine bright enough to claim the full 3 points tonight? It's Bold, Tulsa, round 3 here in the 2020 campaign. Been told it's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over again, expecting a different result. But that's exactly what the Bold and FC Tulsa are hoping for tonight. One of them looking to secure a full 3 points after the draw this weekend, trying to create some separation. For Tulsa, it would mean perhaps moving above that playoff cutoff line. Right now, where San Antonio and Austin both sit. Lincoln Rose, Arch Bell with you. And Arch, a dramatic finish back on Saturday. Diego Restrepo, his only save required was at the death, the final whistle, preserving a 1-1 draw. The comeback goal from Beto Avila. Well, our men to watch tonight, little deja vu all over again. Dario Suarez named Team of the Week for good reason. 3 goals his last 2 matches.
Yeah, same two protagonists, starting with Suarez, the right-footed Cuban who just launched a missile past Restrepo for the opener for Tulsa. Great goal for him, and he's just on a scorching hot streak, if you will, for FC Tulsa, and he'll be another one to watch tonight. Meanwhile, for Austin Bolt, it's going to be Billy Forbes. Now, Billy didn't find the back of the net on Saturday night, but he created a slew of chances, and, you know, he's still got the firepower in those boots to find the back of the net.
Both men find themselves in September among the top goal scorers in the USL Championship. Will one of them shine bright enough to claim the full 3 points tonight? It's Bold Tulsa, round 3 here in the 2020 campaign.
Crack open summer with the taste of freedom. Budweiser's red, white, and blue camo cans. Available
You've been told it's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over again, expecting a different result. But that's exactly what the Bold and FC Tulsa are hoping for tonight. One of them looking to secure a full 3 points after the draw this weekend, trying to create some separation. For Tulsa, it would mean perhaps moving above that playoff cutoff line right now where San Antonio and Austin both sit. Lincoln Rose, Arch Bell with you, and Arch, a dramatic finish back on Saturday. Diego Restrepo, his only save required was at the death, the final whistle, preserving a 1-1 draw, the comeback goal from Beto Avila. Well, our men to watch tonight, little deja vu all over again. Dario Suarez named Team of the Week for good reason, 3 goals his last 2 matches.
Yeah, same two protagonists, starting with Suarez, the right-footed Cuban who just launched a missile past Restrepo for the opener for Tulsa. Great goal for him, and he's just on a scorching hot streak, if you will, for FC Tulsa, and he'll be another one to watch tonight. Meanwhile, for Austin Bold, it's going to be Billy Forbes. Now, Billy didn't find the back of the net on Saturday night, but he created a slew of chances, and you know he's still got the firepower in those boots to find the back of the net.
Both men find themselves in September among the top goal scorers in the USL Championship. Well, one of them shined bright enough to claim the full 3 points tonight. It's Bold, Tulsa, round 3 here in the 2020 campaign.
Crack open summer with the taste of freedom. Budweiser's red, white, and blue camo cans. Available for a limited time only. In stores now.
No matter what pops up during your day, Ascension makes it easy to get the care you need. See a doctor at home 24/7 with Ascension Online Care. Visit ascension.org/online care. No matter what pops up during your day, Ascension makes it easy to get the care you need. Anytime, from anywhere, with Ascension Online Care. Visit ascension.org/online care.
Introducing Budweiser Nitro Gold, a first-of-its-kind lager infused with nitro for a taste as smooth as silk. Flip, pour hard, wait for it.
Billy Forbes, 6 goals in his first campaign as a member of the Austin Bold. Will number 7 come for the man with the 7 on his back tonight? Austin Bold has never lost to FC Tulsa, but those 5 saves the other night from Sean Lewis have him up for Save of the Week this past weekend, and also kept FC Tulsa with a point here on the road. They'd love to grab another. Let's listen in here for the pregame moment of silence, as well as the national anthem, after which we'll get you starting lineups for the Bold and FC Tulsa critical clash here in Group D.
Thank you. Now please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
As we get ready for kick, take a look at Michael Encian's 11 arch. A couple of changes here tonight as they look for the full 3.
Yeah, 2 changes here for FC Tulsa. You see Callum Chapman-Page, he gets the non-defense over Zaguro from the other night. And then Ayagua, the defensive midfielder, back in the fold. Marlon is on the bench.
Meanwhile, for the Austin Bold, for the first time since the season opener back in March, Sonny Guadarrama in the starting 11.
Yeah, good to see Sonny Guadarrama back starting for the Bold, back in the mix, taking over for Omar Sis, while Jorge Troncoso also back into the starting 11. Sean McFarland, the man who is being replaced tonight, not in the matchday 18.
The Bold, of course, in the home black. As Garcia out to Troncoso. FC Tulsa in the white kits. Just to establish that we aren't re-airing Saturday's broadcast and you and I are taking the day off, you'll notice a subtle difference in the backdrop. This is the first time since the restart that the Circuit of the Americas and Bold Stadium have allowed fans up to 25% of their capacity. With some rain, most of the fans gathering safely underneath the overhang across the way. Groups trying to stay socially distant, and an offside flag is up. So again, Sean Lewis with those 5 saves the other night when the Bold put up plenty of shots, actually outshot FC Tulsa throughout the match, including 6 on target, 5 stops from this man. Meanwhile, Diego Restrepo never officially recorded a save until the final whistle. But that last save from Restrepo maintained the draw at 1 apiece.
But yeah, Lewis was superb the other night in making, especially in that first half, making a save, that reaction save on Forbes. And then, you know, you look at Restrepo, and that was just a mannequin to that game, the last kick of the game, and he was able to make a stop. So both goalkeepers definitely on their toes.
Sean Lewis is up for USL Championship Save of the Week on his stop from an effort from Billy Forbes. Here's an opportunity for the Bold to Tuamasi out wide. And of course, Dario Suarez's goal in the 30th minute on Saturday, up for Goal of the Week in the USL Championship. We welcome in viewers up in Tulsa, a couple of watch parties. As play will continue, Troncoso will guide this ball back to Diego Restrepo, who, like his counterpart Sean Lewis, has played every minute this year between those posts.
And you just, you mentioned Troncoso there. Troncoso coming in for McFarland at right back. I was a little surprised to see McFarland not included. He was doing some side work in the pregame in the warm-up, so I don't know if it was maybe just a little nagging injury that head coach Marcelo Serrano of the Bold wanted to work out, or maybe just wanting to rest his right back, who has certainly put in his work this season. He's been a stalwart in this Bold team.
For a second straight match, Kleber also left out of the lineup. Now, mind you, for the most part, these teams are playing twice a week, so a lot of it is managing minutes for the 2 managers. With Michael Encian and Marcelo Serrano, ball sent up top. Guadarrama trying to settle it, able to turn. Sonny Guadarrama, far post, just wide by 1.5 feet.
What a great rip there from Guadarrama, but it all starts with this turn link, and he gets it, makes a nice turn. Let's take a look at it on the replay. Jome with a cross. Here's Guadarrama, there's the turn. And I tell you what, that came really close. Lewis, I think, had the angle on it there, but still, a good shot there from Guadarrama.
Just eluded his fingertips, did not need to intervene. As he'll send it up ahead to Matt Sheldon, his 2nd year on that back line for Tulsa.
And also on that same play, you saw Jome penetrating down that left wing. That's something that the Bold are going to need to have more of tonight than they did the other night from Jome. Jome had a couple of minutes in that second half, but otherwise not the same incisiveness and penetration that we usually see from him.
Tulsa manager looking on as the Bold are still knocking on the door, looking for the early advantage. Okugo will send one into space to Amasi. This time last year was loaned from FC Dallas to Austin. Up top looking for the header instead. FC Tulsa will have it land in their lap. Let's see if they can bring it back across midfield. Well, Austin and Marcelo Serrano, their manager, were making it a point to try to play a little more up-tempo against Tulsa this past weekend compared to their meeting up in the Sooner State. Opportunity out wide. First big threat for Tulsa. They'll send it through the area. where Javi Baez will intercept it.
So definitely plenty of speed, plenty of energy in the early going here, Lincoln. Good pressure from the Bold, but you could tell FC Tulsa, they're a team that can be very dangerous in transition. So the Bold defense is going to have to be wary.
I want to remind you, Austin Bold and FC Tulsa have come together to recognize the fight for equality, diversity, and inclusivity by using these first 7 minutes of tonight's match to honor the ongoing movement around social injustice and the need for positive change in our sport and in our society. Play will stop right around the 7-minute mark. Billy Forbes, hard to get number 7 to stop. Tulsa thought they found a way. It's a foul and a big free kick opportunity here for the Bold.
Yeah, Forbes just, again, using that pace, using that strength to get around DaCosta. DaCosta kind of held onto his jersey there, but Forbes was able to keep motoring and wins the free kick.
Javi Baez and Sonny Guadarrama among the more skillful boots. And of course, Ish Jome, the newcomer this year. Talented man on the back line for the Bold, as see one of the 2 Cubans tonight wearing that armband, Ariel Martinez. He and his 54 caps with the Cuban national team throughout his career. Having some words with our official tonight, Melvin Rivas.
I think most likely we'll probably see Baez, but Jome with that left foot, he looks like he kind of fancies this one too. So, but my expectation is for Baez to swing this one in.
Baez, one of the top assist men in the USL Championship this year, just off the mark.
And nobody really making the run there for the Bold to that far post. It was all white shirts.
Well, there's going to be another bite at the apple, this time out on the wing. Melvin Rivas tonight, assisted by the AR's Diego Blas and Jennifer Garner. As Dioff gets there first, and the foul on Ayagua. Sonny Guadarrama, one of the homegrown talents here in the Austin area. Of course, his career first took him south of the U.S.-Mexican border for returning to the States to play in San Antonio, and now the past couple of years here in Austin. And before the kick will be handled, as we mentioned, the break here, as what you're seeing here comes just days after the unveiling of the Black Players Alliance, an organization recognized by the USL and the USLPA with a mission to educate and empower its members to use their platforms to affect positive change in their communities throughout the league. You'll see they're kneeling up until the 8:46 mark. It also gives you a look at those who have come out in attendance for the first time to support these athletes. Puts it all in perspective. 2 sides that will go full speed at one another for almost the entire 90 minutes plus. But some things are greater than the sport and competition itself. Well-documented history, of course, in Tulsa. As Michael Encian, arms locked with opposing assistant coach. Quite the visual there, Ryan Thompson. Of course, Michael Encian, Mr. Tulsa, a Tulsa native.
And what a blessing for both of these communities to have 2 great coaches like that in the mix and impacting and teaching, local youth products for both Tulsa and in Austin, and just a credit to those two, to those 2 men and what they've done for their respective communities.
So back to the second set piece here for the Bold. Guadarrama keeps it low, and it's returned to sender, back into touch. Austin thwarted for now. We'll have a toss coming up.
That was Bold assistant coach Ryan Thompson, and if you're around Ryan, it's impossible not to smile because it's infectious. You know, his enthusiasm for the game and for life, and certainly appreciate everything that he brings to the table for this team.
Ryan Thompson, who stepped in as manager for that 5th and final match of the road swing for the Bold when they went to Oklahoma City. With Tulsa, Meloto will send it up to midfield. All right, for the first time this year, we hear the live chants, I should say at least since the restart. Troncoso with an expert poke back to Restrepo. Diego, the former league goalkeeper of the year, back in 2017 with San Antonio. San Antonio's putting together quite the defensive effort this year once again. Has them still unbeaten, and of course leading Group D. Tuamasi with Jome in the area. Looks for Dioff, flag stays down. Dioff just cannot get it to settle.
Really good chance there for Dioff, and you know, he just continues to grow and improve with every single game. Had a brace on that 5-match road trip, and here's a chance, just a little deflection. And boy, Dioff, if he could have just had a slightly better first touch there, might have been able to steer it into the net.
Austin Bold have been knocking on that door time and time again through the first 11 minutes. Tulsa's had all of one opportunity to grab that opening advantage, and Suarez will be ruled in touch here.
And you just saw Meloto right there kind of waving on his teammates saying, hey, let's get some pressure up. They want to pressure Austin in their own half to try to force that turnover and look to break in transition quickly.
Again, since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, you can visit selectsportamerica.com.
Good step.
So despite the constant threats, Tulsa has held its ground here on the road. Over the top, looking for Suarez. Instead, Restrepo able to secure it.
And that's not really Tulsa's game. I think there's so much stronger in linking up and combination play. So, you know, flying a long ball like that across and then looking for that's something a little bit more hopeful. I think that they'd be better suited keeping it on the ground and looking for that linking up. Oh.
Jome almost able to find Billy Forbes for the lead. It's just wide.
So there you go, Forbes, the man in the mix again. Almost, there's been so many times Lincoln in the last match plus where it's a close to or an almost for him. And Jome, nice passing from Jome. Wow, and just a slight redirect from Billy, goes wide.
They're going to say it took a deflection off of Matt Sheldon. So a corner kick here for the Bold.
But just goes to show you the passing ability of Jome right there, to perfectly weighted into Forbes. And Jome, he is such a difference maker for this team when he's on the ball.
Austin now unbeaten in its last 6 matches, including the draw on Saturday, thanks to the comeback. As this header goes over the crossbar from Okugo. And they'll say actually another deflection off Tulsa means we stay here for another corner.
Yeah, right now, Lincoln, this is almost like a carbon copy of Saturday night. You know, the Bulls starting off strong, getting the chances. Still very, very early, but be curious to see what Tulsa can bring in this first half.
Troncoso, the Chilean unable to sneak it through. Baez able to win it back. Well, dating back to that victory over RGV on August 8th, that's a month back. The Austin Bold have only fallen behind 3 times in their matches. All 3 have come against Tulsa. Twice in their first meeting, and then again back on Saturday, but every time the Bold have been able to find the equalizer. They would love to work with an advantage for the first time here tonight. How's that for strategy, Arch? Score first.
There you go. One thing you don't want to do is give it away in a spot like that, which the Bolt just did. They're able to get back. But again, one other note, Lincoln, is the fact that it's while it was slightly more, I guess, wetter and rainier on Saturday night, a little bit drier here tonight. So the goalkeepers won't have to contend with the slippery ball as much. And that's good news. I know for Restrepo on that first one, the Tulsa go from Suarez, he had to contend with kind of a dipping, slippery ball.
Maloto up to Sheldon, who started every match this year. Swing it through the back. The center back, Chapman Page, who again gets the start tonight after coming off the bench on Saturday. His second start of the year. Little heavy, but they keep it away from Baez. Now the foul called. And this will stay with Austin in the center circle. Baez with the restart here in a moment.
Yeah, Chapman Page, he needs to do better there. He can't just give away the ball like that. That's what you want to see from players always is how well do they take care of the ball? Will they just flippantly turn it over to the other team? You want to see players, especially a defensive player like Chapman Page, make sure that those passes are precise.
Ball over the top, looking for Dioff, spills loose briefly. Flag was going to stay down, but Lewis able to recover.
I think that's a good sign for Marcelo Serrano, the Bold head coach, to see Dioff making those runs, trying to get in behind the defense.
Dioff among the handful of rookies now for the Bold this year. They found some reinforcements this past month after there was one match they had to get league approval to play shorthanded against San Antonio. Could not fill out their bench. And a lot of those reinforcements have come from local ties. Able to turn, exposed frame. This ball slips through, and it's Tulsa again. Able to land the opening blow here tonight.
And yeah, you might as well bust out in song because it's Dario Suarez who's making all the Tulsa fans swoon, Lincoln, with his goal-scoring exploits. 6 goals now for him this season, and that's 4 in the last 3 games. The Cuban is just absolutely on fire. Nice pass here. I believe that was from DaCosta. And again, when you're a striker in fine form and you've got the chance, those finishes are always going to hit the back of the net, it seems.
It came 13 minutes sooner than back on Saturday. Again, Suarez put the only ball past Restrepo in that matchup. But if Suarez was able to get a shot off, it was going to make it all the way into the back of the net after he had pulled Restrepo off his line. A nifty turn around Jome and able to make them pay.
I mean, really uncanny, Lincoln. It is very similar to Saturday night. Strong start from the Bold, and FC Tulsa really with their first chance, their first look at goal, making good and getting the goal.
Yeah, remember those halftime stats, how lopsided they were in shots taken back on Saturday. But ultimately, it's how many cross that goal line. Fabian Garcia, who has increased his presence on the back line this year. And of course, again, the captain, the Jamaican with 100 caps. Taylor, your man wearing the armband in the absence of Kleber. And they'll work through Jermaine Taylor. 6 years in Major League Soccer, including stops in Houston and Portland.
Well, you talk about Taylor for some of these young, bold players, Lincoln. I mean, what a fantastic guy to learn from. He's the team captain for a reason. He's a leader and an excellent center back.
Well, he wears that captain's armband even with some of the other veterans out there on the pitch, including Baez, who really runs that midfield. Puts on a clinic between matches with his fellow teammates, including a lot of the youngsters. Guadarrama over top has Forbes and Dioff. And if Billy Forbes is wearing a shoe size, maybe perhaps one size bigger, may be able to poke that one home.
Yeah, just right out of the reach of Forbes, unable to connect. And there's been a couple of those already for the Bold. Here's the chance right there. Another little deflection, and Forbes, yeah, just with a little bit better connection, might have given Lewis a problem.
Another corner kick opportunity for Baez in the Bold. And they will dial it up once more. Can Austin find that equalizer here in the first half? Of course, we have a hydration break coming up in about 10 minutes. Chance of We Want Beto, the man who tied it up in the second half on Saturday. Tulsa with the first head on it. Ball sent back into the mixer. Guadarrama takes his look well over the crossbar. And another deflection means another corner kick.
Yeah, Sandy Guadarrama, he is so good from that spot on the field. He's able to, almost like a curveball in baseball, it can just go from 12 to 6, the way he's able to curl it down. That one takes a deflection, though.
Beto Avila, the 19-year-old, available tonight off the bench. Had played 25 minutes all year, put in a quality 27 minutes on Saturday alone, including his first professional goal. Baez again, off the back of the head. Guadarrama, a drive, but off the mark.
Not bad there. Good flick on header. There was just nobody there at the back post to meet it for the Bold. So you see the pressure here, and Sean Lewis, he's been pelted by these Bold players, and both on Saturday night and again here tonight, and still holding firm.
Well, don't miss a minute of action in 2020. Sign up today and get alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for Austin Bold or FC Tulsa, then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on the Bold and FC Tulsa's next matches. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. Austin just has 2 more home matches after tonight. FC Tulsa has 3 home matches remaining to close out the regular season. So if these 2 teams remain even with another draw this evening, if the Bold can battle back, Tulsa's schedule might be slightly more favorable there in that playoff push. Still a lot of time, though, to battle for 3 points here this evening. Right now, Tulsa in the driver's seat.
And certainly you would have to think Oklahoma City would love nothing more than another draw between these 2 teams, not lose that much ground. So still a lot of work to do.
Looking for Forbes. Billy collects, has D off at the top of the box. And Billy Forbes goes dancing. And it's another corner kick for the Austin Bold. Down a goal after Dario Suarez did it again in the 17th minute. By now you know his name is Javi Baez, and of course that man, super. Tulsa's done a nice job on these set pieces.
Yeah, the Bold have pretty much gone the same way with every single corner kick, looking for that flick on header at the near post and to try to get some type of deflection or some type of break there at the second post, but still nothing.
Here's Forbes. Billy still with that ball on his left boot. Mind you, Billy Forbes was signed this offseason to a team that was returning 2 double-digit goal scorers, Andre Lima and Kleber. And Billy was just taking a leap of faith. He loves the region, that he would find his way into the lineup and into the back of the net. And of course, Andre Lima would not rejoin the team with the team's blessing during the restart. Ball sent in. Still a bit precarious here. And offside flag is up. They're trying to, the Bold are, explain why they don't believe they were offside with the last touch coming up from Tulsa. But we mentioned Kleber not available on the lineup tonight. Andre Lima back at home. Of course, Chris Tierpak not a part of the restart either, and all of a sudden Billy Forbes turns out to be a must sign for the Bold looking back at things.
And Chris Tierpak, no stranger to scoring goals as well.
Tulsa knows about that.
Yep.
Maloto. Able to track it down. Troncoso able to thwart the opportunity, at least for the moment.
Good defending from Troncoso.
Martinez. Will Insurance rear its head for the first time? Suarez sends one up. It's the 4th time in 3 matches that Tulsa has had a 1-goal lead on Austin. Insurance has never come to fruition, and that has cost them some points. One player down for Tulsa. We'll see what Jome has in mind here, and they will stop play as Ish crosses midfield. As believe that is DaCosta. Rodrigo DaCosta, the 26-year-old Brazilian, last year's 2nd team All-USL championship.
And you see here it is. I think just a little bit of a clash there with Taylor. I mean, when you go up for a 50-50 ball with Taylor, it's going to be, there is a chance that you're going to get a little knock or maybe a little slight blow to the head or whatever. That's just what happens when you go up against a battle axe and a center back like Taylor. But DaCosta, yeah, such an important player, such an integral part of this Tulsa team. Basically the first name on the team sheet, along with Sheldon, as you were saying. So a key figure in this Tulsa team.
And they're going to go ahead and convert this into the hydration break that often falls around the half-hour mark this year. So really coaches have learned how to use this as a timeout, make adjustments. Marcelo Serrano's had some success this year here at home, finding goals coming out of these hydration breaks.
Yep. Wasn't the case on Saturday night per se, but certainly in previous games we've seen it where out of the hydration break he's able to basically kind of just drop a play. Perhaps what he's doing right now as we take a look at him, just like we used to do as kids, in the dirt and everything at the field, drawing up the play, and it has worked a couple of times. It's resulted in goals for Austin.
Both teams identical, 3-win, 5-draw, 2-loss records, sitting in Group D, tied for 2nd. Your first tiebreaker is number of wins. Of course, they are level at 3. After that, it is your goal differential. Both these teams are a +1. That continued to be the case after they played to a draw the other night. So then you go to the 3rd tiebreaker, and that's where you favor offense in this league, right. Goals for, where the Austin Bold have 20 goals this year compared to 12 for Tulsa. Had been goals against, FC Tulsa would be your team above the playoff line right now, and that is a welcome sight for the Austin Bold, getting some of their diehards back inside the venue. We saw some of them make a trek up to Taft in Oklahoma City.
Yes, they did, yeah.
A 12-hour round trip just to see their team in person for the first time since the restart.
Well, it's such a great venue to come to, Lincoln, and it's a fun watch experience for fans, kids. I know they absolutely adore coming out here. There's so much room to run around, and the venue, the way it's set up, it's a very intimate scenario to watch a game, a great place to watch a game. So it's nice to see the fans back here.
And Michael Encian, 2+ years now at the helm of FC Tulsa. And what a turnaround it's been this year under the new ownership of the Kraft brothers. Looking for Dioff. Now the rookie is going to be calling for the foul, trying to track that one down after the first touch.
Now, Lincoln, you mentioned Encian, and it was a tough season. It was a really, really tough 2019 for the then Tulsa Roughnecks, and to try to keep that team positive and still trying to play good football. And they brought in a whole bunch of changes, some new players, some new blood, new energy, and I was glad to see Tulsa stay with Encian, and you see the fruits of their labor now paying off and right in the mix for a playoff spot.
Through 10 matches, Tulsa with 8 results. They had never done that before in their history. Just those 2 losses so far. And that has kept them in the playoff hunt. Now those 2 losses came as the Bold were on a 5-match road swing in which they got a result every night, although all but 1 were draws. But that was enough to launch the Bold back into 2nd place behind San Antonio.
Why win or lose when you can just draw, Lincoln? Yeah.
Can't remember if Pat Sajak hosted that game.
That was Monty, what was his name? Alan knows.
It'll be rerunning, no doubt, at 2 a.m. on a channel you can get with your rabbit ears. Troncoso, back to Bias. Austin working through the back, half-hour mark. Down by a goal. Dario Suarez, successful strike, 17 minutes in.
Nice.
Opportunity building here, Troncoso. The Chilean looking to dial one up. But again, the discipline from Tulsa. The opportunities tonight have belonged to the home team again. But Tulsa, the only side to convert, doing so on limited opportunities.
Well, I tell you what, the Bold are working really hard in that, on that last buildup right there. You saw just a little 1-2 combination before they sprayed a ball out wide to Troncoso and then the curl back into the box. But you see there's a genuine effort there to try to combine, to link, especially in that final third. Just that finishing product is lacking.
Quite a boot here from your keeper, Sean Lewis, trying to turn the table. Another man down for FC Tulsa during this attack. Ball stripped away by Tuamasi. As we see Dario Suarez back on his feet. What a run for Suarez. His 6th goal now. That levels him with Billy Forbes among your top goal scorers in the league this year. Ball sent through, a little heavy.
On that last sequence there, and I can see right now Jorge Troncoso talking to Diop. Troncoso sent him a pass down the line, and Diop let it run across his body when he should have taken the touch to try to control it. Instead, the ball went back over to Tulsa because Diop allowed the ball to run. You see Troncoso talking to him, and it's good communication there between your right back and your right winger.
A lot of experience on this pitch for Marcelo Serrano, with just the right amount of youth sprinkled in as well. And it was youth that prevailed for the comeback point on Saturday. Restrepo will usher back on his line. Garcia will try to pin down this opportunity, as it'll stay with Tulsa.
That's what Tulsa wants. They want Moloto to have the ball at his feet in space, facing goal. When that happens, really good things happen for Tulsa. Moloto is, I mean, for my money, I think he's the best passer on this team, and having watched Tulsa now for several games, and I like the way his finesse with the ball, his calm, his presence. Most of his passes are right on the money.
Tulsa's held on to this lead now for 16 minutes. They took the lead into the halftime break back on Saturday. This is the match that was intended to be played back on July 23rd. But due to COVID protocols, it had to be rescheduled. As a result, we are being treated to a couple of matches here in Austin that have significant playoff implications out of Group D.
Probably about 25 degrees cooler as well between July 23rd and tonight.
Had a bit of a rain back on Saturday, a little drier conditions tonight. Guadarrama looking for Forbes. Okugo pokes it loose. Into space. Who can get there first? Suarez chasing it, as is Taylor, but it's Restrepo. Well, fans, follow the Austin Bold and FC Tulsa the rest of this USL Championship season on ESPN Plus, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the nearly 8 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at espnplus.com. And there has been no shortage of the USL Championship on ESPN Plus since the restart. Often an opportunity to see your favorite team twice a week with the condensed 16-match regular season. 2 teams from every group making it into the playoffs. Still divided East Conference and West.
It's been great to see all the players out. Some of the young players really starting to emerge in both conferences. Getting a chance to see Landon Donovan as a coach of the San Diego Loyal, so there's plenty to see in the USL Championship.
Even saw Tim Howard put on the gloves back between the posts. FC Tulsa still sitting on that goal advantage, courtesy of Dario Suarez. Ball sent in, Restrepo with a stop, follow-up, goes home. It's a brace for Suarez, goal number 7, and it's his 5th goal in the last 3 outings.
Huge goal, Suarez anticipates, he pounces on it, he's onside, no doubt about that. And I'll tell you what, when you're in this type of form, this type of stretch, the goals just fine. Here you go. Here's the shot from Martinez, a little left-hander. And yeah, Suarez is the first one to react, anticipating that Restrepo's unable to save. And that was a really nice build-up. That was nice work from Tulsa. The Bold unable to clear. And now it's an uphill climb for the Bold.
No man in the USL Championship hotter now than number 92.
5 goals in not even 2.5 games. That's pretty impressive.
All meaningful matches.
Yeah.
Home win against RGV, the draw on the road on Saturday, and what he hopes one of those 2 goals will hold up as a game winner against Austin.
Well, it's absolutely critical here. If the Bold if they can somehow get a goal back before halftime, just try to get it back within 1, and then you've got a full 45 minutes to work with. But
again, Austin unbeaten in their last 6 matches. But they've seen some of their own leads evaporate during that stretch, costing them some points. Can they return the favor here against FC Tulsa? First, they need to find that opener. And Okugo will win a corner.
Yeah, that was good work there from Okugo, just using his body, shouldering the man off the ball to win the corner.
Well, Javi Baez has had some practice here tonight. Will it pay off here? This time, a 2-goal deficit.
I'd like to see them try to get a little bit further. Try to reach Jome at that far post, but not to be on this one.
Baez was looking for a Troncoso. Wasn't meant to be. Ish Jome capable of scoring off that back line. Also, we've seen a capable distributor as well. Another set piece from the corner for Austin.
And that's what Jome can do for you. He wins a corner right there. So many times we've seen already this season where he can go 1v1 versus that fullback, beat him, and then create a chance by whipping across into the area. So when they can get Jome on that left flank in a 1v1 situation, favorable things happen.
Baez bends it into the top of the 6. Tulsa appears to have survived once more. Billy just needs a little space. Will lose ground here, but still ball for Austin. Now Tulsa only 2 shutouts this year, back-to-back matches at St. Louis and at home against San Antonio.
That took out something, Lincoln. I'm not sure what it was, but I guess everybody appears to be okay.
First match with fans returning during the restart, but none in harm's way there. Garcia, one of the 15 returners this year for the Bold from last year's playoff side. Includes Okugo as well on that back line. Amobi sends one in, looking for the noggin of Guadarrama.
That was a good cross there from Okugo. First timer, and Sonny just unable to put it on target. That's the right idea. This is such an important stretch right here, Lincoln, at 2-0 down. If you concede another one at 3-0, and then it's really, really hard to come back from that. But if you can pull a goal back, 2-1, then you can start thinking positively about getting at least a result. So kind of a make or break situation here for the Bold. Even if they can get into halftime down 2-0, I think that's something they can at least say, you know, we know we can get 2 goals in the second half. Obviously, they would love to have one before the whistle, though.
It is Dario Suarez 2, Austin Bold 0. Suarez assisted on Saturday by his fellow Cuban Martinez on the lone goal. And it was off the rebound of Martinez's shot a moment ago that Suarez found the brace tonight.
And it's going to be interesting to see if with Cuba, with the Cuban national team, as they try to attempt for a Gold Cup, if players like Martinez and Suarez will be included in the mix. Usually they just go with domestic players, but certainly there's a lot of talent in the exterior for the Cuban national team. And if guys like Suarez and Martinez are able to, they get the nod, then Cuba, they could be a force.
Martinez in his career, 29 goals, 26 assists in his 50-plus matches representing his home country. That man not to be confused with an Italian plumber.
Yeah. And speaking, I had a chance to speak with Cuba captain Arichel Hernandez, and he just said, you know, players like Suarez, like Martinez are so important, and if Cuba is able to play with them, then they could do something special in a Gold Cup.
Bradley Bourgeois sends it in. Bourgeois was on the last Tulsa team, the only Tulsa team to make it to the postseason. This is his second stint back with the franchise, as he's back in his home state of Texas this week. Former Tulsa Golden Hurricane at the college ranks.
What really impresses me about Bourgeois, I think he's got a really good touch when it comes to passing. At the end of Saturday night's game, we saw him on that almost kind of playing more of like a right wing type, right fullback mode, it seemed. And he was able to, he whipped in some really good balls from that right end. Just goes to show you that even, you know, when you have a good center back that can pass as well as he can, that's a luxury to have.
Mention again a viewing party just across the street from their stadium at One Oak up in Tulsa. Shout out to all of the FC Tulsa fans, certainly enjoying the competitiveness this year and their fight for a playoff spot, including the efforts the other night of Sean Lewis, as well as a hello to the folks of Cinco Doce and Epperle's Army who did not make it out tonight, but will have the opportunity to do so moving forward with 2 more home matches this season for the Bold. Garcia back to Restrepo. It has been a year that has required the Bold to put 20 goals in the back of the net so far in order to claim 3 wins and 5 draws, because they have been more vulnerable this year. to giving up goals defensively.
And what I'm noticing, Lincoln, I think they're really missing a player like Kleber with this hold-up play, and to be able to then to just dish off to an overlapping run from, say, like a Chumasi or a Forbes or somebody like that. So with Kleber not available tonight, and if the Bulls go into halftime down 2-0, it'd be really interesting to see what decisions Marcelo Serrano makes at the break.
Of course, also without Edson Braffide since the restart on that back line, as no fewer than 5 minutes of stoppage time here in the first half. Forbes able to lose 2 defenders. Billy to Amobi into the mixer, and just an effort to get the shot off from Tuamasi, but it'll be a goal kick from Lewis.
You know, unlike the other night, Lincoln, where they tested Lewis a lot, this time Austin's just not finding the target. The Bulls just unable to really put anything on frame and test Lewis. And you saw an example right there from Tuamasi. He works so hard, gets his body in a good position, able to whip around and take the shot, just goes right over the crossbar.
Austin was 6 shots on target on Saturday compared to just 2 from Tulsa, but each team managing 1 goal along the way. It was Austin that controlled the first 15 minutes or so here in this opening half when it came to shots and set pieces. Okugo in the midfield. And the friendly header back to Lewis. Again, Sean Lewis responsible for those 2 shutouts this year. Just 11 goals allowed. That's the second stingiest in Group D behind San Antonio. Jome. Ish Jome sends it in, looking for Diop, but Lewis makes no mistake, fields it off the hop.
Here's the replay right here, and the ball from Jome. And yeah, Diop just unable to crash in there. It was, I believe that was DaCosta who was kind of fending him off, not letting him get into goal.
Yeah, with some help from Kevin Garcia as well.
Yeah, excuse me, that was Garcia, not DaCosta. But yeah, the point stands. It's that last touch there, maybe even inside the 6 on a ball like that. I want to see a little bit more movement, a little bit more incisiveness from a player like Diop, but good marking there from Garcia.
Dario Suarez gave Tulsa the lead 17 minutes in, then 20 minutes later would find insurance, something Tulsa had not had in their previous 2 meetings against Austin. Tulsa has never beaten Austin, mind you, just a 2-year series now. Austin 3 wins in their 3 meetings last year, 2 draws so far this year. That could very well change here tonight, as this ball stays with the home side. A couple minutes still to go here before our whistle sends us to halftime. Another corner kick this opening half for the Bold. Repeat after me. Javi Baez.
You keep saying it.
He's got 4 assists this year. That's 4th best in the USL Championship. Looking for a different result. Okugo lands on it from outside the area. Jome pulls the trigger, deflected, and they'll get a handball. And the question is where?
I believe he just pointed to the penalty spot there. You see it, the Jome with the shot, and it looks like it struck the arm of the Tulsa defender. And finally, the Bold on a corner kick get what they were looking for. Here it is, and yeah, it looks like it struck. I think that was Ayagua who took it right off the hand, and yep, that's a penalty, and it's going to be Guadarrama.
Sonny Guadarrama, the pride of Austin, Texas. 2nd year with the Bold, coming back home when pro soccer returned to his hometown, sitting on 1 goal this year. Looking to cut the deficit in half as he stares down Sean Lewis. Can Lewis come up with another miraculous save this week here in Austin? on the board. Guadarrama comes through.
Perfect penalty executed there by Guadarrama. The little stutter, he gets Lewis leaning, fires it in. You couldn't have asked for a better struck penalty right there. The Austin native pulls him back. A huge goal, Lincoln, to pull the Bold back within one. There it is right there. And then you saw Lewis leaning. Sonny, an experienced player like him, is going to know exactly how to execute and convert that. Just a textbook penalty.
He got you thinking purple stuff, but in the end, Sonny G.
And so now a totally different game here for the Bold. You got a goal back, you've got the momentum.
Not much time left before that whistle sends us to halftime. Can the Bold find a second one? Forbes, Billy! Just one.
Boy, that was just an absolute rocket off the right foot of Forbes, and looks like that's going to be the last kick of the half, but Austin finishing off this first 45 minutes with a bang.
Oh, but it was the final moments that have brought the Bold back in this one.
Here's another look, and Forbes, boy, he went for goal. Lewis got a little finger on it.
So no corner kick. The Bold had enough opportunities in that first half, but it's another stop from Sean Lewis to protect a lead. 2-1. A little higher scoring than Saturday. Tulsa in the driver's seat.
Crack open summer with the taste of freedom. Budweiser's red, white, and blue camo cans. Available for a limited time only. In stores now.
No matter what pops up during your day, Ascension makes it easy to get the care you need. See a doctor at home 24/7 with Ascension Online Care. Visit ascension.org/online care. No matter what pops up during your day, Ascension makes it easy to get the care you need. Anytime, from anywhere, with Ascension Online Care. Visit ascension.org/online care.
Introducing Budweiser Nitro Gold, a first-of-its-kind lager infused with nitro for a taste as smooth as silk. Flip, pour hard, wait for it.
Well, Dario Suarez's first goal tonight will not be the game winner, but perhaps his second one still can be. A penalty taken from Sonny G has the Bold back within one. It is halftime here in Austin. Critical points on the line. Second year of existence for the Austin Bold. No shortage of memories have already been made.
As Malice overlapping with Guadarrama wants it himself! What? Sonny Guadarrama just allows Callum Malice to pull Joey Farrell about 1.5 feet to his right. The center back does nothing wrong as he has to account for the overlapping run. But Guadarrama makes him pay.
Took it away there, and of course if you're Austin with where you're at now, dangerous here.
Tierpak and a hat trick. And Tierpak might have stolen the game here in Tulsa with a goal in stoppage time as he beats Steidehar to Steidehar's right And Tierpak might have just given the Austin Bold 3 points on the road in stunning fashion here at ONEOK.
Patrick, the first one was lucky, the second a moment of quality, that one the best of the three, a great hit, nothing Sidehaar could do, and that could well, as you say, my friend, be the match winner.
He does it all from box to box.
Another one from distance.
This thing for sure, this goal will be up for USO goal of the week without a shadow. Alongside Taylor, you can see Brofide and Okugo drop back at times.
Clever will take a shot.
Clever holding off the tackler, kept Sandoval on his back.
The United Soccer League and its 47th championship in League One clubs stand united in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can create change. Together, we are united against racism.
Over to Richards. Left foot, and Brett Richards with an amazing strike.
On the right foot, a curling effort. Oh, what a goal for the Battery!
Saved and cleared off the line. What a play by Tampocket.
Well, he might have been pulled back. Play continues.
Shot is lined up here. Oh, it's fantastic. Sensational.
Floats this to the back post. What a save. Romero denies a Roscoe.
Nice recovery. Suarez, eyes on Restrepo. Ooh, fires one home. FC Tulsa strikes first in the opening half hour.
For this organization.
Here's a shot, and it curls near post at the death.
Well, just like Saturday, it's Tulsa with a 1-goal advantage. Could have been a lot more as FC Tulsa up 2-0, both from Dario Suarez, who has just been incredible. We've used all the superlatives. You saw there during the break, he is up for goal of the week because of what he did on Saturday, sending one past Diego Restrepo in that top corner. Here's where the table is coming into tonight. This is your only action in Group D this evening. Neither of them is going to surpass San Antonio tonight, but one of them will wake up tomorrow morning above that cutoff line, as only the top 2 teams will advance out of the group. You mentioned Oklahoma City rooting for a draw tonight.
Yep.
These 2 teams.
Yeah, they would love another draw just to stay within 7 points. And you know, the Oklahoma City Energy, they play both the Bold and FC Tulsa plenty of times in the home stretch to try to make up some ground.
Austin Bold and FC Tulsa still tied technically for that second spot. You take a look at some of the things we've been following with the Bold, with this match being rescheduled from back in July. We've had this interesting dynamic back on Saturday and here tonight with the same 2 teams, same venue. Tulsa is hoping for a different result, hoping they can capture all 3. Bold would root for the same if they can come back with multiple goals. And of course, a couple of new players. We saw Tasca in the lineup as a backup goalkeeper for Diego Restrepo back on Saturday, looking to make his debut if needed. And then Quintanilla among the handful of some new names this month for Austin.
Yeah, Tasca from Stumptown Footy last year where he was a goalkeeper. Quintanilla spent some time at RGV, also down in Mexico with clubs like Santos and Querétaro. So 2 interesting players in the fold for the Bold.
We've got 3 goals to show you some additional looks on when we come back. Highlights and first half stats when you rejoin us.
Crack open summer with the taste of freedom. Budweiser's red, white, and blue camo cans. Available for a limited time only. In stores now.
No matter what pops up during your day, Ascension makes it easy to get the care you need. See a doctor at home 24/7 with Ascension Online Care. Visit ascension.org/online care. No matter what pops up during your day, Ascension makes it easy to get the care you need. Anytime, from anywhere, with Ascension Online Care. Visit ascension.org/online care.
Introducing Budweiser Nitro Gold, a first-of-its-kind lager infused with nitro for a taste as smooth as silk. Flip, pour hard, wait for it.
Halftime here at Bold Stadium. First time since the restart that fans have been able to take in their favorite team here in person at home for the Bold. One of their favorite players, of course, Sonny Guadarrama from Central Texas, just off the mark from giving the Bold an early advantage. Billy Forbes came up short a couple of times as well.
Yeah, the Bold came out firing and pelting Lewis in the goal, but those chances went wide. This one did not. Dario Suarez on target. Some question whether he was onside or not. People in Tulsa, they don't care. They're singing the song of Dario Suarez. And then he got his second after the Ariel Martinez shot. Restrepo unable to control it. And Dario Suarez, Johnny on the spot. His 5th goal in 2.5 games.
Martinez assisted Saturday's goal. And again, it was his rebound that set up the other. How big is this penalty, though, from Sonny Guadarrama to get the Bold on the board before halftime?
Boy, just a massive goal for the Bold. Instead of being down 2-0 at halftime, you're thinking, okay, I got to get 2 goals, now just 1.
And this is almost identical to what we saw at halftime. Shots-wise, the discrepancy is Saturday. The Bold out shooting Tulsa, although with that said, FC Tulsa's been a little bit more marksman-like in terms of being on frame there in that first half.
Yeah, I mean, look at that right there. They're getting their shots on target. 2 of them, of course, finding the back of the net. And the Bold, I mean, if they can just continue to test Lewis, but so many of these opportunities from the Bold, they're going over the crossbar, they're missing wide. So a little bit better accuracy, and then they'll give themselves a good chance to at least get a result.
Arch, after tonight, both teams have 5 matches on their regular season to go. Presumably this playoff battle is going to continue into that final week. For Tulsa, count them up, 3 of those 5 will be at home, including a couple of rivalry clashes with the Greens of OKC Energy.
Well, and that's going to be really, really entertaining to see. You know, OKC Energy would love to spoil the Tulsa party.
Meanwhile, the Bowl just 2 home matches remaining, including one of which is outside of Group D play when Sporting Kansas City 2 will come to town. That season finale against San Antonio, the class of the league right now in Group D. You wonder how much will be on the line that night if it's San Antonio, the Bold rival, who could knock them out of the postseason. Again, first the Bold have to go down to the Valley to San Antonio, as well as up to Oklahoma City.
Well, you know, similar story. Tulsa and Oklahoma City and in-state rivals, and the same thing with Austin and San Antonio. And San Antonio FC, they wouldn't even think twice about ruining a playoff appearance for the Austin Bold.
No Copa Tejas hardware on the line this year, but it still is something that they would cherish down there in the Alamo City. I mentioned this this weekend, but congratulations to Josh Suggs, as has become one of the well-established players in the USL Championship. Only one man has played more minutes than Mr. Suggs in this league. For the Bold, well, you go on the road and you get a point, you're happy, but they played 5 matches in that road swing, and they had a lead in all but one of them, but ultimately would see those leads evaporate. They come away with draws in all but one of them. Now a six-match unbeaten streak coming into tonight. It's in jeopardy against Tulsa right now. And then, of course, the push to the playoffs. It's never too soon to start following all of these groups to see how the East and the West start to play out. I know the Rowdies are getting ready to lock up one of the first playoff spots out east over there at Al Lang. Take a look at the USL Championship around the league, as quite a few midweek matchups tomorrow night, especially over on the West Coast. We are the only match underway right now. We appreciate the undivided attention.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see Landon Donovan. We mentioned him earlier, San Diego Loyal, going against LA Galaxy, his former club. Obviously, it's LA Galaxy 2, not the LA Galaxy senior team that just beat LAFC the other night, but some interesting games out west.
Always a struggle to unlock that phone with facial recognition during a pandemic. Diego Restrepo, with or without a mask, always wears his gloves. It saw 2 balls from Dario Suarez sneak by him tonight after one on Saturday as well. But with that penalty from Sonny Guadarrama following the handball, they've been able to pull back one of Dario's goals. But he's still your difference maker right now.
And it's not like Suarez has even touched the ball that much tonight. It's not like he's had a lot of chances.
Agrees.
And he hasn't been, that active. But man, when he's getting played into scoring opportunities, scoring situations, his finishing is impeccable. So full credit to him. But Sonny Guadarrama giving the Bold a chance and a big momentum boost going into the locker room, and see if they can continue that in the early stages of this second stanza.
Lincoln Rose and Arch Bell with you. We are here on site at Bold Stadium. A big thank you to everybody at the Circuit of the Americas staff for doing everything they can within protocols to keep, even tonight, the fans safe. Before that, it was really just us, our production crew. Certainly appreciate the efforts of our crew as well in these games since the restart.
And the ones that are here, Lincoln, very animated. Tuesday night, first day of school here in Austin ISD, and these people are bringing it. I like it.
Might be a few kids attending school from right here tomorrow morning. No need for a virtual background. So Austin tilted the pitch in its favor throughout the early going in that first half, but just could not get a ball past Sean Lewis through the run of play. Mr. Lewis does not need to intervene quite as much. Now, I don't believe he'll be credited with a save on one of his more critical stops in that first half, but our replays did show that he was able to deny the ball from Billy there at the end of the first half.
Yeah, just looked like a slight fingertip.
Back to Billy. Now the rebound goes a bit tall.
And same story there, Forbes, just unable to find the target, just missing over the crossbar there. But you see right there the Austin Bold continuing from that late surge in the first half, continuing with the chances here in the second half. Marcelo Serrano, he didn't make any changes at the break. Would have been interesting if he had made any changes at halftime, down 2-0, but only down a goal. He stays with the same 11.
Tulsa fans have never had a reason to cheer for Billy. Remember, he did play that 1 year for Rio OKC in the North American Soccer League. Outlined into Amasi. Ema up top, Guadarrama. Pokes one through, and just off the mark, wide of the post after Lewis had already fell to his backside.
Boy, that was a dangerous one right there, because it takes a deflection, and you wonder if maybe that could have snuck inside that near post, but instead it goes out. Let's have another look at it right here. Here's Guadarrama, gets around the defender, and yeah, that takes a deflection off of, I think that's Garcia there, and it goes out, but referee says goal kick. Looks more like a corner kick.
A little product placement. Arch, as you noted, no substitutions made at that half, so that means just your traditional 3 windows this year for the 5 subs. Michael Encian used all 5 back on Saturday to hang on to the draw. The Bold used 4 of their 5. Again, not on the bench tonight for the Bold. Sion McFarland and Clever.
Yeah, and those are two really key pieces of this team, and for them not to be on the 18-man roster for tonight is a bit of a setback.
Chapman Page does get the start tonight after coming off the bench on Saturday. Bourgeois. Eric Bird, the former Dynamo for Houston. Tulsa applying some pressure along the area. Ish Jones right now has been tracking Dario Suarez. Bourgeois looking to return the favor. Tulsa wanting a whistle on Garcia, fighting for that ball in the box. Instead, play continues.
Yeah, Tulsa are so dangerous in this spot. They get in that final third. They've done a really good job with finding the man, finding Suarez to get a chance to score. Bold hold firm on that one, but just get an idea of just how good the Tulsa attack can be.
And the rookie Antez Diop from Senegal. One of the new additions this year for Marcelo Serrano. Arch, can you name the winningest head coach in Austin Bold history?
Ryan Thompson?
Close.
He's never lost.
Guadarrama. Sonny looking for a brace of his own. No need for Sean Lewis to put on that Superman cape this time around.
I like the effort there from Guadarrama. Very audacious to try to go for that chip. And it was unfortunate that for him that it didn't go in. Let's have another look. Guadarrama now a couple times, and there's just a slight deflection, but it forced a stretch of the hand there from Lewis.
Likely would have been off target, but Lewis was not going to risk that. Sean Lewis every minute in net this year. Bold looking for the equalizer. Let's do it again.
And that's Joam with the corner kick, and he's got that wicked left foot. Tries to curl in almost. I don't know if he was looking for a gol olímpico, as they like to say, a goal off a corner kick or not. But Lewis.
Javi Baez heard the disappointment in your voice, so he's going to come out and handle this one.
This one, the in-swinger to be handled by Baez, of course.
Joam. Back post, Taylor. Finished off by Garcia as the Bold had pulled even after trailing by 2.
Well, after all those times of unable to get anything off a corner kick, the Bold get the penalty at the very end of the first half that allows Guadarrama to pull them within 1. And then on this one, another corner kick. It's well struck by Baez, a couple headers across, and the opportunity falls to Garcia, who finishes from a yard out.
Second goal this year for the French defender. Fabian, right place, right time.
It's a great ball there from Joam. Header across, I think that was Taylor. And just when you can get it in the mixer there, all that chaos, loose ball, and Garcia cleans it up. Yes, sir, 2-2.
So Tulsa finally had an insurance goal after seeing leads evaporate their last 2 outings against Austin. Well, after the penalty in the first half and the goal from Garcia, again, we are level.
That was the back line doing all the heavy lifting there, Lincoln. Joam to Taylor to Garcia.
Does Dario Suarez have a hat trick in him?
Boy, what a... We talked about the momentum change that the Bold were wanting there before the halftime break, and they got it, and now you see what's happened here in the second half. Come out with more energy, more urgency to their play, And here they are 2-2. You still have tons of time left. And I think there's definitely another goal in this game. It's just a question of who's going to score it.
Got a quick glimpse up into the stands at a completely different Beto 2020 campaign. You see there Jermaine Taylor with the header, Lewis with the save, but picking up the slack Garcia a moment ago to pull this one even at 2 apiece. Sean Lewis can only do so much by himself on that line. Now will Restrepo be tested? Flag is up. Re-energized keeper after seeing 2 balls get by him. All of a sudden back to a brand new match.
It's interesting, earlier this season we saw the Bold in a home game here go down 2 goals to San Antonio. They were able to rally and make it 2-2, but ended up losing 4-2. But much different situation. Marcelo Serrano didn't have nearly the deep bench that he does have tonight, so Bold looking to make good on this 2-goal comeback.
We have seen Austin concede 3 goals or more on 3 occasions, including twice here at home. Oklahoma City did it, San Antonio did it. And of course, Colorado Springs in that remarkable comeback during the road swing, a race to 4-goal deficit. And the Bold are trying to keep Tulsa confined to just 2 scores here tonight. Dario Suarez with 2 goals in the first half. The penalty converted from Sonny Guadarrama to cut it in half before the locker room walk for these 2 teams. And again, Fabian Garcia's 2nd goal of the year, able to level it at 2 apiece, where we stand now.
And the Tulsa bench did not really like that challenge. They wanted a card on that last challenge right there. None forthcoming, and not a lot of cards that have been distributed between these 2 teams. You'd have to think, I mean, they're going to will have played 180 minutes by the final whistle tonight, and it wouldn't surprise me at all to see a little bit more physical play in these final 30 minutes.
Looking for that back post, Restrepo able to bring it in. Jome can cover a lot of ground quickly. What an addition Ish has been this year. Coming over from most recently Colorado Springs. Austin has had their eye on him dating back to last season.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Forbes is new to the Bold this year, but you could really make the argument that Jome perhaps has had the bigger impact just from a full perspective. Forbes has certainly supplied lots of goals, but Jome just really just been a great addition at left back.
Here is Jome right on cue. And he will win this ball, a free kick for the Bold.
And that's what he does. You know, when he's able to get out there, get in isolation with a defender, can go 1v1, he wins a free kick. So many times we've seen him beat the defender and then whip in across. So those are the things that he can do to produce chances.
DaCosta unable to change the mind of our referee, Melvin Rivas, tonight. The left boot of Jome. Header on frame, but right to Lewis.
Well, that's great service there from Jome. And if the header's maybe anywhere else in the frame of goal, it might have snuck into the back of the net. Lewis, though, it went right to him.
Amobi Okugo, often your target in those situations. Okugo, who this year has moved up into the midfield after being a reliable center back much of last season. Billy Forbes moving without the ball to the middle of the pitch. Jome able to find Billy. Billy sends one just off Lewis and wide. A corner kick for Austin. Sean Lewis denies Billy the gratification of giving the Bold a lead. And they are going to say no. This will simply be a goal kick for Lewis, as we may have missed a flag across the way.
I think there was a flag there for offside at Forbes. I think just a hair offside, but again, you see the the skilled passing there from Joam. And Lincoln, at some point here soon, I think we're going to probably have to see some changes from Tulsa, and wouldn't be surprised if maybe Marlon gets a chance here. They need more play on those flanks, do Tulsa, to try to get some chances going.
Dioff. To Amasi. All the usual characters as Jones sent one in for Guadarrama. But Tulsa was ready. And the numbers add up as Bourgeois will finally send this one back into touch.
Yeah, Joam has been so active in this half, and that's a great thing for the Austin Bold. And you see when he has the ball at his feet, there's a lot of danger that gets created. And here he is again.
Remember, Tulsa had only allowed 10 goals on the year coming into this weekend. They've allowed 3 here in Austin. 4 of the 13 goals they've allowed have been against the Bold. That's a little skewed because of the group play, where you see these teams over and over again. Oh, nifty turn. The rookie will give it back, though. The chance returning of We Want Beto.
I wonder if Beto's slightly embarrassed by that. I have no idea.
Of course, Beto Avila, another local favorite. Mentioned the 19-year-old out of Hutto, just north of Austin. Martinez has had a knack of finding Suarez all year, just not this time.
Boy, Martinez, I mean, that connection is just really produced a lot of great moments for Tulsa this year with Martinez and Suarez, the Cuban connection, and such a great relationship between those two on the field. And Martinez is just a classic workhorse. He's creative.
Marcelo Serrano is all about the democratic process, and he will reward the people and give them what they want at the next opportunity. Beto Avila across the way at the table.
Oh, there he is.
Avila wasn't just a feel-good substitution last match. He was a necessary one if the Bold were going to complete the comeback for the draw. His first career goal landed the Bold a point and denied Tulsa 2. Billy. Bold want a handball. Not going to get that call, but they will get possession. But first, it's Beto. He comes on for a fellow Austinite as Sonny Guadarrama, who got the scoring started on the penalty, sees his start come to a conclusion here in the 62nd minute.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Sonny only played about 15-20 minutes the other night, his first action in a really long time. So you would have to think 60 minutes would be his threshold tonight. And Beto, impact sub the other night, composed finish for the equalizer. So let's see what he can do. And at the very least, he has to impress like the 20-odd people who are here supporting him. So Beto, you got to do something.
And the chant, "We want Beto," becomes "We've got Beto." If Beto finishes the match, it'll be a career-high minutes played in a match. Dioff. Previous career high was Saturday when he put up 27. Joe looking for the top right 90. It'll just get away.
And that's his weaker foot, Lincoln. The left is his preferred foot. So not a bad rip there from Joan.
Well, if you're on the road and you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XMFC, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, and Rodney Marsh. Fans of the USL can now listen to the best matches of the week, including tonight's match, along with action of MLS, the Premier League, and the UEFA Champions League. Sirius XMFC, channel 157 on your Sirius XM radio, and the Sirius XM app.
the magisterial Ray Hudson.
That's right.
You always have to say that.
Javi Baez. Quick touch from Avila. Okugo tries to thread one through, but it'll wind up with Lewis instead of Jome.
Yeah, you can see Omobi, he really wanted that one and just took a slight deflection. Otherwise, it was perfectly weighted for Jome to run onto it.
Can Sean Lewis get another lead to work with? Insurance was not enough when Tulsa led 2-0, 40 minutes into that first half. Goals from Guadarrama and Garcia have pulled Austin back.
Well, you really have to credit the effort tonight from Chumasi. He's kind of playing that clever role right as the hold-up forward. There he is, and he's just worked so hard back to goal, muscling off defenders to then lay off to a teammate.
Again, he's just 23 out of Ghana, former Wake Forest standout, who's on loan for a second straight year from FC Dallas.
And Wake Forest, that's just a factory. They produce so many good players. Mark McKenzie, the Philadelphia Union. John Baquero, who's with Phoenix Rising. Chumasi. So many top players have come out of that program. It's not Furman by any stretch, but it's still pretty good.
Is that in lieu of your donation this year to your alma mater? A gift in kind?
I matched Clinton Dempsey.
Billy Forbes trying to win this ball back. Not this time. Marcelo Serrano, 40-year-old manager of the Bold, had the vast majority of his playoff side return this year. But this is one of your newcomers in Jome. The Bold entered the final month last year really threatening to host the opening round of the playoffs as a top 4 seed, but would slip down to the 8th seed before it's all said and done. Pass Lewis, exposed frame, but plenty of bodies in the visiting white kits from Tulsa tonight there to pick up the slack.
And that was close, and somebody had been making the run, and that heroic effort there from Dioff, it might have resulted in a goal.
Conversely, we saw Suarez get his brace when there was no help for Restrepo. Okugo from distance.
That's not a bad idea there from Okugo. I think that's the right idea. He had the time, he had the space. Go ahead and take a rip. If you're on target, maybe get a rebound, but that one was off target, no big deal. Keep doing it.
Both of Moby's goals in a Bold uniform came last year, a brace on the road in Albuquerque against New Mexico United. Oh, well done, and Forbes is pulled down.
That's definitely a card.
It'll be the mustard variety. Will it be worth it?
Yeah, and that's just Billy Forbes being Billy Forbes. Strength, the quickness. And Chapman Page, only thing that he can do is wrestle him to the ground. Yeah, I have to say, Lincoln, I'm surprised we've only still seen one change between the two teams, and now in the 68th minute, it's not as hot here in Austin today as it usually is in the first week or two of September. So I think there's a little bit of a relief there for the players, but still no changes from Tulsa, which I'm a little surprised to see since they only made 2 changes from Saturday night's match.
There's the vantage point of Sean Lewis. Can he get himself nominated for another save of the week?
I think in this case, you're looking at the people potentially taking this free kick. Taylor's there, Baez, but I think Jones the guy here with that left foot. It's the type of guy he could just, almost like a top spin shot in tennis, just kind of roll it over that wall and into the top right corner.
Right now it's Jome. 2 goals, 2 assists this year. Ish, right into the wall. And it'll stay with Austin.
Yeah, just unable to find it over the wall, and danger averted.
Right now it looks to be a good foul on Tulsa, as Billy had been able to turn on that ball a moment ago.
And you know, Forbes is just so keen to get a goal. He's hasn't been able to, he wasn't not able to beat Lewis the other night, and then now really not able to get anything on target tonight. So you know he really wants a goal.
He thought he had 2 against Oklahoma City last week, but what he thought would be a game winner was called offside. Hasn't scored since. Back post looking for Tuamasi. Here's your header, and there's Lewis denying Beto his 2nd career goal.
Boy, Beto, he headed it right at Lewis. Maybe if that's just another meter or 2 to the left or the right, it goes in, but good build up there from the Bold.
Avila listed at all of 5'7".
It's all Bold right now, and I think Tulsa coach Encian, he needs to make a change.
Tuamasi again, and all of a sudden the teenagers become a target. We will have the first substitution of the night for Michael Encian, as it will be Marlon coming on for Melodo.
Yep, this is the right call right here. Marlon is usually a starter, can come in, such a dynamic player, can come in on that right wing and start to test some of these Bold defenders. Diego Restrepo, Lincoln, has hardly done anything this half. He's just been kind of a bystander there. And
yeah, he's lucky they allow fans tonight.
so it's been he's been pretty inactive in this first half after a pretty busy inactive in the second half after a pretty busy first half. So see what Marlon can do for Tulsa.
You see the 24-year-old from Rio as he comes on for Melodo. Marlon, in his first full year with Tulsa, joined the team in August of last season. And Troncoso will be whistled for the foul.
Yeah, this is definitely a foul for Troncoso. He took him out. Took Suarez out from underneath on that ball, and kind of a dangerous play there from Jorge. But talking about Marlon, he had a really frustrating night on Saturday night. Didn't do the things that he wanted to do. There's the play right there, and yeah, that's football right there. That sometimes happens. Not sometimes. That happens a lot, but that happens.
Coincidence? That's the guy who scored 2 goals today.
I don't think so.
Michael Encian has made his first substitution with Marlon coming on. Both teams have 2 substitution windows, as many as 4 subs still remaining.
It's interesting. I think they're substituting another player, but I don't know if that qualifies as the same window or not.
No, this would be the 2nd window for Tulsa.
Which is an interesting move, because it was only, what, a minute or 2 ago that Marlon came on.
And they're going to say, I think Billy didn't give him the full 10 yards. That's a yellow, and that's a heads-up play from Martinez. The original social distancing.
The original.
Moments ago, Udo coming on. His 4th appearance off the bench this year for the Nigerian. Tulsa looking to reclaim a lead. Austin throws bodies at it, and they emerge with possession. By Baez has Forbes making the run.
Great ball.
Billy Forbes off to the races. To Amasi. That ball just deflected wide.
I don't know how they didn't score, Lincoln. I mean, that was set up perfectly. That pass from Baez, he had that thing sized up the whole way. Even before the ball reached him, he knew exactly what he was going to do. He sends it to Forbes, and I think Forbes...
You're going to have Beto in your picture as well, and perhaps just too many possibilities in the area.
I think if Forbes is just a little bit earlier with his distribution.
And give Garcia the save there. That ball was headed home for a bold advantage.
Yeah, and I think if Forbes, if he just distributes a little bit early, passes a little bit earlier, then maybe it wouldn't have been as rushed for Tomasi. But holy smokes, that was the chance there for the ball, just unable to convert.
Kevin Garcia playing on a yellow tonight with that foul against Forbes earlier right there. Just picked up a lot of slack to keep this one level.
Great job from Garcia.
There's a reason he's played every minute this year for Tulsa.
He's been really good. So solid again tonight.
Martinez will take it away and then lose it for a corner.
But boy, what a textbook counterattack from the Bold, and it was all unlocked by Javi Baez just with that fantastic pass to Forbes.
Well, Ish Jones will put his left foot to work here. Bold looking for their first lead against Tulsa this year.
That's interesting. First corner kick of the night, Lincoln, that they played short. So mixing it up a little bit. Maybe they become too predictable with those previous corners.
And we are going to have our final hydration break of the evening. Austin has battled back tonight, putting 2 balls past Sean Lewis. It started with the penalty from Guadarrama at the end of the first half, and then a rebound out to Fabian Garcia to level us at 2.
Well, it's been a really entertaining match, but I think the key thing here for Tulsa is they got to get something going here. They finished really strong the other night in the last 5 minutes, but kind of similar to Saturday night, the second half really didn't create too much for the bulk of the second 45 minutes. So that man right there, head coach of the FC Tulsa, Michael Encian, he would like to see his team start to get a little bit more active in attack, start to create some chances so they can try to get the 3 points and vault themselves up into second.
Well, there is a lot of flexibility for each coach the rest of the way here. Austin still has 4 substitutions they can make. Tulsa has 3 they can make, as again the supporters making their presence felt. Some bold banners, and of course the memorial banner for fallen teammate from last year, and Promise Isaac as well.
And as I mentioned earlier, Lincoln, what are we run the 77th minute? But I think we're probably looking at another 20 minutes of play, and I think we're definitely still going to see another goal. Just unsure which one.
Well, we're definitely going to see another substitution right here, as Marcelo Serrano will make his second change. It's Omar Sis coming on. And Sis with his first touch, back post to Billy. And again, Tulsa making sure that ball does not reach Lewis. What a night that back line has had.
Well, that was just a great piercing ball from Sis, and Forbes just unable to meet it cleanly. I mean, how many balls have we seen like that from the Bull tonight, where it's just they're just unable to get the finishing product, but good work.
The flag is up. Tulsa's gone from wanting a decisive win for the 3 points tonight to just trying to cling on to a point, it seems, right now. Now that can change in a moment. Suarez has not been pulled from the match.
And they got the guys to do it. Marlon's out there, now Udo on the field, so you'd have to think that like an Altamirano is going to also get a chance to come on, so be curious to see how Tulsa closes here, if they can close as strongly as they did the other night.
Again, Sis, the most recent sub, in for a closer look. They'll never find Diop, his fellow countryman from Senegal and high school teammate from Montverde Academy in Florida.
And I think this is where it's going to come from Tulsa. Lincoln is in transition here on the counterattack. They've got the horses where they can do it. Austin's pushing for that winner, so it's going to give Tulsa some chances.
Already a brace tonight for that man in the first half. Dario Suarez, his third goal in the last 2 matches here in Austin this week. 5 goals over his last 3 outings. Well, again, we talked so much about the youth and the growing of the game. The USL's elite pre-professional platform, USL Academy, allows clubs across the USL to build a pathway to pro soccer by bringing together top local youth talent. You can follow the success of the First Academy Cup events. Clubs can now apply to participate in the USL Academy League, kicking off in spring 2021. For more information, you can visit usl-academy.com or search the hashtag USL Academy on social media.
One thing of note here is Bourgeois now kind of moves more over to this right wing for Tulsa. He's got that really good right foot, very good at crossing. So see if Bourgeois is able to get something going for them.
The pride of Cypress, Texas. Bourgeois sends it in. Just off the mark, looking for Billy. Sis not giving up on it. Omar lands on it. And Forbes waiting for that ball to come to him. Instead, Tulsa not giving him that opportunity.
Yeah, Billy just didn't know the man was there.
Two teams tied for second in Group D. We talk about 6-pointers all the time. The past 2 outings, it's essentially a combined 12-pointer potentially. When these two teams first met on Saturday, Dario Suarez certainly has done his part for the visiting side from north of the Red River.
And now you've kind of started to notice a little bit of a different feel, different shift as Tulsa's starting to get back into it and to attack. These final 10 to 15 minutes, just like they did on Saturday night, now starting to commit more numbers forward, create more chances.
Just the second corner tonight for Tulsa compared to 14 for Austin. But it's how many you drive home. And Jermaine Taylor was never going to allow another touch of that ball. Billy Forbes was a 90-minute man the other night.
There he is.
Takes a shot from Garcia. They'll play on.
Good ball from Beto.
Diop. Bold, well spaced. It's Sis who will send a rocket from 20 yards down off the mark.
On that counterattack, Lincoln, it's a really nicely weighted ball from Beto Avila for Diop. Diop, the heavy touch, and that's what let the chance go astray.
Coming into the game for the Bulls,
Well, another Austin connection coming on for the Austin Bold as Adamalaken, Nate Adamalaken makes his second appearance for Austin. The 21-year-old who would leave the city limits to go to college at Chapel Hill to be a Tar Heel. Played in Austria last year until the season was suspended for COVID-19. But he's a former Lone Star Soccer Club kid from the region before he moved over to the Orlando City SC Academy. But that's the final change available to Austin. They'll use just 3 subs, an old school throwback, if you will. Here's Forbes looking for a third goal for Austin. Forbes still on his feet. Beto slipped. Ball was played to Avila, who had the look.
You know, I wonder, Lincoln, Forbes got tripped up a little bit. I wonder if he actually goes down, if they maybe call penalty. Probably not, but he stays on his feet and creates a chance. Just Avila slip, not able to get a clean look off.
But it's been Tulsa still having to stay on their heels. These are the men who will finish the match for the home team in black. Baez and Jome combined to handle 14 corners for Austin tonight. This time Ish can use his hands. Still a lot of time at this pace.
That's not a bad look for Forbes, just a little too heavy. But you see, I think Sis has played really nicely since he's come in over there on that right midfield.
I believe Michael Encian can still make one more change. Restrepo does not intervene. And it'll be a corner kick here for Tulsa. Can they take advantage? Just their third corner of the night. Martinez again will do the honors. The 32-year-old. Restrepo organizes his men.
See Chapman Page coming up, big center back. We'll have to watch out for him.
Tulsa scoreless this half. Looking to reclaim a lead. And a foul on Tulsa, specifically on Dario Suarez. Matched up with Garcia. Those two men have combined for 3 of our 4 goals tonight.
That was interesting. They went all the way back to DaCosta, electing to do that before filtering the ball in.
Flag stays down for Avila. Beto trying to get back on it.
Good work,
Beto, his right foot kick save from Lewis.
That would have been a heck of a goal if he would have converted it just to win that ball and then make a slight move. It would have been a golazo.
And a counter the other way now. Moby Okugo, the surgeon with his feet. What does Billy have left in the tank? Oh. And it'll be a corner kick for Austin. As there are bodies everywhere.
Lincoln, you got bodies everywhere. It's end to end. I mean, both teams understand the importance of getting 3 points, and they're going for it.
We hadn't seen it until those final moments. This has been back and forth tempo.
It's been really good these last 10 minutes.
And then all of a sudden you saw about half the participants just slowly walking up the pitch as Austin set up its most recent attack. Tulsa and Austin players alike having to catch their breath.
And that was, I believe that was for Tulsa, the man who's having to come off the field because he was attended to. I'm not sure if that was Udo or maybe in Bourgeois. Unable to tell for sure.
So corner for Austin. 87th minute wrapping up. Bold have not held a lead tonight. But looking to find one here. Headed over by Sis. And that'll be the last bite at the apple for now for Austin. So for Michael Encian, we will see Cyprian Hedrick make a rare appearance this year, former SAFC man from Friendswood, Texas, greater Houston area.
Yeah, Hedrick returned to the team, matchday roster against RGV last week, but not seeing the field until tonight, but it's nice to see him back playing.
So he'll add to the defensive effort for Tulsa. Foul on Bourgeois matched up with Avila.
Oh, you know, you mentioned this was going to be the most minutes that Avila will have played this season, about 30 minutes or so. And you know, he's had a couple chances, been really active though. So that's another good sign to see.
Martinez. Again, the opportunities have been dominated by Austin, but Tulsa, just like Saturday, when they've had the chance, have often made the most of it.
Pretty clinical finishing from Suarez tonight. Does he have another one? Good ball.
Outlined assists. Omar. Avila thought he might have had another chance to put one on frame. But Tulsa able to get the bodies there. Well, they need more heroics from Sean Lewis tonight, like we saw back on Saturday when he made 5 stops, including denying Billy Forbes.
Well, you had that second ball right there, and you had almost 3 bolt shirts just within about a 2-yard radius. But you see those second balls, the Bold are winning those second balls tonight, and that's allowing them these chances.
Question right now is how many minutes will be added. Brandon Gardner is the keeper of that secret for now.
Is that Brandon Gardner? No. Five.
The quarter referee has indicated 5 extra minutes.
All 3 substitutions windows have been used by both teams now here in the second half. Who has more in the tank? Tulsa looking for more heroics on the road. Avila will come out to pick up on Bourgeois. It'll stay Tulsa attack.
But you see the delivery, the service from Bourgeois, that's what he can do. Tulsa wanted a handball on Troncoso, but it went off the chest. But Bourgeois, he's got that space on the right. He can be deadly.
Into the area. That's where Jome heads it out to Adamalekin. Lewis well off his line, must get to that ball first, otherwise it's Forbes jogging the other way to walk it home. Here is the aforementioned Forbes. 6 goals this year. Assists.
And that's been the story of the night right there for the Bold. The shots are there, shots on target, not so much.
Omar Sis, again, the 18-year-old rookie. Still looking for his first professional scoring strike. About 3 minutes remaining. Remember, when we regularly see matches 95, 100 minutes, these are athletes that are often playing 2 matches a week during this condensed schedule.
That's a good challenge from Jome right there. Well, it looked like Tulsa had a break, and Jome with a really key challenge. Otherwise, it could have been a 4v2.
Tulsa looking for the last laugh. Don't want to leave that playoff spot to tiebreakers. Ball sent in, Restrepo. Wants to lead the way for Billy. But glued to Forbes again is Kevin Garcia. Tulsa came so close to finding that game winner at the final whistle on Saturday when Restrepo came up with his lone save. Can they find one at the death here? Joan briefly had to hold his breath when that ball got by him. Domalakin unable to win this ball back for Austin.
And the Bolt trying to break quickly in transition, but Tulsa's just not letting him do it right here. That ball's still in play.
Yeah. If they had the benefit of our camera angle, that would be Austin's ball. But they ruled a foul instead for a free kick here for Martinez.
And Martinez is just the type of player that Tulsa want on the ball right here. He can serve this thing up.
Dario Suarez right now 20 yards from goal. It will not find 92, sitting on a brace tonight. Final minute, presumably, in the third and final regular season meeting between these two. The first two matches have involved each team taking a point. (2-2) in Tulsa, and on Saturday 1-1 here in the state capital of Texas. Billy thought he found a gift. Billy and the Bold will settle for a draw. They'll take it after trailing by 2 goals in the first half. Marcelo Serrano's men will take a point. And he shakes hands with Michael Lincian. The only way they see each other again is if somehow they're both in the postseason, but they understand as both of these sides have put everything they have out there. We're going to end tonight the way we started this weekend. Both teams tied for second in Group D. The third tiebreaker keeping the Bold narrowly ahead. When we come back, a look at how this evening unfolded.
No matter what pops up during your day, Ascension makes it easy to get the care you need. See a doctor at home 24/7 with Ascension Online Care. Visit ascension.org/online care. No matter what pops up during your day, Ascension makes it easy to get the care you need. Anytime, from anywhere, with Ascension Online Care. Visit ascension.org/online care.
Introducing Budweiser Nitro Gold, a first-of-its-kind lager infused with nitro for a taste as smooth as silk. Flip, pour hard, wait for it.
Well, the Bold fans, for the first time since the restart, were able to cheer on their team in person. Mind you, their team had gone unbeaten 6 straight. Well, now it's 7 straight after a comeback by the Austin Bold. The penalty from Sonny Guadarrama, as well as the equalizer from Fabian Garcia, matched the brace tonight from Dario Suarez. Arch, as we take a look at some of the final numbers.
Well, what stands out to me, Lincoln, is the shots. Now, shots on target, you see the discrepancy there. Austin Bold had plenty of shots, but they just had so much difficulty finding the frame. So many chances win a ride because of that, just a lack of accuracy there in the final third. And therein really lies the story of this one.
So 7 matches, unbeaten streak now for the Bold, but just 9 points during that stretch keeps Tulsa right on their heels. Tulsa thought perhaps they'd be getting their first win ever against Austin. Instead, the two teams played to 3 draws this year, 15 points apiece. The folks who are the happiest about that, Oklahoma City Energy. OKC can certainly help themselves perhaps in the postseason with 1 match against Austin, 2 matches still to go against Tulsa in the remaining 5 dates this year. Bold now have just 2 home matches remaining. Tulsa will have 3 trips home at their own home facility.
Yeah, and I think Lincoln, I mean, what all this tells me right here is that it's going to go down to the wire between Tulsa and the Bold. It's going to come down to the final match today. So, you know, two great matches between these two teams, 180 minutes, and basically we're at the same spot.
Well, Dario again was super. A brace before the Bold ever got on the board, but Sonny G got the scoring started before halftime. Fabian Garcia, right place, right time on the rebound with the left boot. For Arch Bell and our entire crew, I'm Lincoln Rose. Big thank you for joining us for a second time this week as these two teams collided. 2 draws the result and still a tie for second.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.